Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Long Distance Book Club. I'm one of your hosts, Logan.
And I am your other host, Hannah.
And this week, we are doing our book of the month.
Yes, girl.
Before we get into that, though, because I think, well, at least I have a lot to talk about with that book. What have you been reading lately?
Okay, so I think we talked about this in our last episode. I am now reading The Favorites by Lane Fargo.
Yeah.
Question mark. I'm like 50-something% done. I'm reading it on my Kindle, so you know how it says like the little percent finished, which I love that feature, by the way. But yeah, I'm like 50-something% done, and I'm liking it. Okay, I'm not loving it, but it does like continue to get better, if that makes sense.
Oh, it does.
It's like kind of slow. It has been kind of slow the past, like, I don't know, 20%, but I feel like it's picking up and I'm wanting to see what's going to happen next instead of like, oh, I have to finish this book, blah, blah. But I'm very excited to see my opinions as I get further into it, as the plot thickens, as they say.
Yes, I won't say anything. Actually, tell the listeners what you texted me when you first started it.
I think I said something along the... Yeah, I said, was it about the murder part? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like you were scared.
Yeah, I was probably like 13 pages in whenever I texted Logan, and I was like, okay, I started The Favorites, but I'm really scared because I'm scared that somebody's going to end up murdered between like the main couple, and I'm terrified to like have my heart broken. Something like along those lines, right?
Yeah, and then I said no comment.
Yeah, exactly. So you gave me nothing.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
And I'm still, well, all because like in the very beginning, there's a line where it's like, where like the main female character is like, this is not a spoiler. And she says something like, I've been called everything from blank, 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 murderer, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, murderer? And no murder has happened yet. So, so somebody's gonna be dead by the end of this book, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know who. So I like that part of it.
I cannot wait to hear what you think, because I remember feeling the same way. Like, I wasn't super invested at first, and then at one point I remember listening, because I listened to the audiobook. I remember I was like, all of a sudden I could not stop. I couldn't put it down.
Interesting that our feelings are lined up so far. So I'm excited to see then what's gonna progress. But all that to say, what are you currently reading, Madame?
I don't have much to say. I just started, as in I'm only on chapter 2, but I just started today Dolly All the Time by Annabelle Monaghan.
I think I've seen the cover of that.
You probably have. A lot of Annabelle Monaghan's covers like kind of all look similar.
Okay.
But I've never read a book by her, and I've heard a lot of really good things. So I don't know. This was her most recent release. Like, I think it released this past Tuesday. Like, not yesterday, but last week. So.
Oh, nice. Did you pre-order it?
Oh no, I just got it at the Walmart.
At the Walmart, at my local Walmart. Shop small.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, I genuinely don't even know what it's about. I'm just kind of along for the ride because a lot of people said it was good. So just kind
There
of.
you go. That's kind of the best way to go into a book sometimes, is to have absolutely no idea what to expect.
I agree. You know, that's my favorite way to go into a book.
And I'm starting to be like that too. Like, I almost sometimes don't even want to know the genre. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love to go into a book blind.
Exactly. Okay, well, all that to say, should we get started on Yesteryear?
Yes. So to preface, as always, we're going to talk about Yesteryear by Caro Claire Burke. And from here on out, we will have explicit spoilers. Explicit as in we're going to tell you how it ends, how it begins, and everything in between. So if you have not read it yet and you want to, then stop here, go read it, and come back. If you're not interested, then we'll tell you how it goes.
Then keep listening. Okay, so I'll start off with a little summary for us. But before I do that, I wanted to say that I actually before Logan and I decided on what book we were going to do for June, I had actually just started this book. Me and if anybody has Fable, if anybody does not have Fable, I definitely recommend it. But so I was not aware of this, but so I have a couple book friends on Fable, and one of them and I actually decided to buddy read this, which I didn't know you could do on Fable. You basically set up like a private group and you like select the book and then you can like comment on the chapters, as you read it, blah, blah, blah. But anywho, one of my book besties on Fable, their name is, hold on. I know their name now, but I told them I would give them a shout out, but I don't want to get their name wrong. So hold on, let me go and look. I think it's Crawler Craig with fire emojis, but I have to make sure of that because I don't want to mess it up. Okay. So don't quote me. I told them I would do this. Hold on. Yes, Crawler Craig with fire emojis in between. He's super sweet and he's also a teacher. But anywho, all that to say, here's our summary. Are you ready, Freddie?
I think that person may have followed me on TikTok, but I'm not confident.
Oh yeah, he listens to our podcast, so he probably did, and he's so nice.
That's interesting, and I'm kind of offended that you did that with him and not me. But continue.
I'm so sorry. Okay, anywho, continue. Hi, Crawler Craig. Okay. Okay.
Craig.
So hi Craig. Okay, so Yesteryear. The bulk of this book is told in dual timelines, so keep that in mind. So we read about Natalie, who's our main character, in her normal, air quote, normal life, which is her growing up, getting married to Caleb, buying a farm, becoming a social media influencer, blah, 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 blah. So that's one timeline. In the other timeline, Natalie wakes up one day on her farm, but in the 1800s. She's married to a version of Caleb, and she has 4 different children than in her, air quote, regular life. And she's all of a sudden no longer pregnant, which is insane because she was several months pregnant.
Yeah.
So she bounces back and forth to and from thinking that it's either all an elaborate prank or to thinking that she's being tested by God. As she's like going about her day-to-day life as the days go on, she's thinking, is this a test from God? Is this actually real life, or is this like the best version of pranked like in the entire universe? And she kind of starts to lose her mind. She starts kind of spiraling a little bit. And then this is a gigantic spoiler right here. So please stop if you have not read this. But come to find out that her 1800s life is actually like 10 or 15 years in the future, and she's just losing it.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So I hope I gave the summary some I hope I gave it justice or did it justice because I read this book probably like 3 weeks ago, so I really had to dig into the archives for that one.
Yeah, so let me just say, I think Hannah did a great job at that summary. And does that not sound like the most boring thing you've ever heard in your life?
What? No, that like the premise of this book, the synopsis is what drew me to it.
No. So before Hannah suggested that we picked this book, I was highly against ever picking this book. Like, I never wanted to read it. I thought, why would I want to read about a trad wife that like goes back to the 1800s? Like every person that I had seen that talked about it, I always was like, this is such a snooze fest. Like, I don't ever want to read this. And I'm just going to go dive in. I gave this book 5 stars.
Holy cow. I can't believe it.
And I'll go ahead and just tell you why, because I feel like I need a little bit of justification here.
Yes,
So
please do.
a lot of controversial things happen in this book. There's a lot of political things that happen, both like in the story and also a little bit hinting like our current political climate.
Yeah.
But I rate this book 5 stars, not because like, oh my God, this book is so good and it made me feel good, but oh my God, this book was like messed up and the author really conveyed all of it in a really, really fantastic way. And the whole time I was like, oh my God, where are we going with this? And she
Yeah.
also wrote Natalie in such a way that like you really can't tell if you're like proud of her or disappointed in her. And you're like watching, it was just, I could not speak highly enough of this book in a crazy turn of events.
Wow.
And
I'm actually
it's
really
just 5
shocked.
stars. It's 5 stars.
You know what? Before I give my rating, let me go back to talking about Crawler Craig for a bit, okay?
Okay.
So like I said, we're friends on Fable. So I had posted something, or maybe he posted something, I can't remember. Anywho, we were talking about Yesteryear on one of our posts, and I said that we were going to record like the episode, and he said that he was very excited to see your thoughts on it. And we both said that we thought that you were either going to like think this book was mid or like hate this book. And I did not think you were going to say 5 stars.
This book is crazy. Like everything that happens in it, and I have a ton of like points, almost kind of like what you and Craig did on Fable. Like
Yes.
if I read something that was just absolutely insane that I knew I wanted to talk to you about, I went on the notes app in my phone and just wrote down like page 186.
I'm so glad you did.
Because like we
Okay,
have
let
to
me
talk about what happened on page 186.
precisely. There's so much to talk about in this book. Okay,
Yes.
let me tell you what I thought about it overarchingly, okay?
Okay.
I gave it so I gave it 3 stars. I
Okay.
I really did I don't know if I can say enjoy. I was addicted to this book, like as in her writing style was absolutely incredible. I love the way that she wrote this book.
Yeah.
However, and this is just where I think this is where our rating system is different because or I guess, I don't know. Anywho, I hated Natalie so much. I think that I've never disliked a main character more than I have her. And I think I disliked it. I think I disliked her so much and like all the crap that was going on in her mind that it almost made reading it a little bit less enjoyable,
Mm,
if that makes sense.
yeah.
Because I felt all the feels, but it was all like I was completely repulsed by Natalie.
Yeah, sure.
And like and I do completely agree with you in the fact that her writing style is amazing because I do think that it's like out of this world and I would read another book by this author. But Natalie was just like, I don't know. Some people like whenever they feel so repulsed by a main character, but I think for me that's totally fine. I can see that. But I think for me it makes me excited to like get out of her head, like out of Natalie's head. Like I was so excited to be done with her.
Yeah, I could see how you would think that. And I maybe it's like the like mental health professional in me that's like it's kind of interesting to see that
Yeah.
side of somebody and kind of be in their head like that because there were
Mhm.
parts where I would read and like I would start laughing because I was like there's no way that this is real. There's no way somebody wrote this and I'm just reading it like and it was just so like just comedic relief to me like just reading some of these things and I would just like actually just die laughing.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I wanted to ask you a question real quick before you talk about your points. And what we were whenever you were talking about our opinions on Natalie. So whenever we were back in her college days,
Yeah.
um, and we read about how she was ostracized and like pretty much bullied and
Yeah.
she was an outcast. Did you sympathize with her? Do you feel like Natalie's like a villain, a victim, or something in between?
So at first, and this is like obviously the author's purpose behind this, but at first, I think that we're definitely supposed to feel sympathy
Yeah.
towards Natalie. Like, oh, she was raised this way. She doesn't know any better and she wants to have a better life for herself. She's going to college and she wasn't really prepared for the things that she was going to find. So I think that we're supposed to be like, oh, like almost like, oh, I wish I could take her under my wing or I wish I could be her, her big sister or whatever in those years.
Yeah.
And then we see her, I don't know, take our sympathy and run with it, I guess. I don't know.
Or like curb stomp it and spit on it.
I actually, one of my questions, and it's kind of like relatable to this, is do you think that Natalie is just simply an evil, cruel person? Or do you think that she does have like a mental illness or something?
That's a great question to ask somebody who is completely uneducated in in mental health. Thank you for asking me. I think, and here's the thing, and this is probably controversial for me to say this, but I guess that's why we have like the DSM. Is that the right
Correct.
acronyms?
Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect.
because like, okay, coming from somebody who does not know all that stuff, like obviously I know things, depression, anxiety, bipolar, blah blah blah. You know, I know very
Yeah.
basic things. Um,
Yeah.
but like, but if somebody has a mental, wait, what'd you say? Mental illness? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
If somebody has
Or
a mental
diagnosis,
illness,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. So if somebody is diagnosed with something of the sort, they can also be an evil person at the same time. But you're saying right? Like just
Yeah.
because like a psychopath, just going like the most extreme here, a
Yeah.
psychopath would also not, I mean, I don't want to say all because maybe there's some great psychopaths out there. Hi there. But I mean, I'm sure that some psychopaths are evil, even though they have like a mental illness, but they're still evil. You know what I mean? Like I think it can be both. It doesn't have to be one or the other, right?
Sure. And you could also like have a mental health disorder and be very aware of it
Ah, yes, good point.
and be able to say like, "Oh, I'm behaving this way, I need to stop," or "Oh, I know I'm behaving this way and I don't want to stop." Like it could, go 50 million different ways, but I guess
Well,
in the plainest sense of the question, do you think
okay,
this
yes.
is a disorder or do you think she's just cruel?
I don't know how somebody could be like this and not have a disorder,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good.
That's what, but I also don't all let me back up. Because I'm completely uneducated, I did not mean anything that I said to be insensitive. Um, I guess I guess I just mean I think that in her case it was both, and I don't want to use like I guess I wouldn't want to like use it as a excuse for her behavior, even though
Sure.
if she
Right.
does have, something of the sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anywho, I might have offended everyone and I apologize. I didn't mean to.
Burn her at the stake. No, I'm just kidding.
Dang it, I didn't mean it.
I think she definitely has like a personality disorder for sure. Um,
Because I don't know how somebody could think those things and not have something not firing correctly.
so I don't know. I think that I really noticed like, hey, Natalie might be a problem. I think I really noticed that during chapter 11. So, if everyone has their books, would you please put them on your desk and turn to page 94? It's chapter 11. Um, so she just had her baby, her first baby, Clementine. Has her first
Clementine.
baby, and I guess she has this terrible nightmare. And everyone's a baby. Everyone's screaming at her, and none of them have feet. And I just was like, what the hell? I was like, what, Natalie? We might be losing it here, honey. Um, but then it gets even worse somehow or another. And we continue. She's still in recovery, recovering from birth. And, and this is why I'm like, man, part of it is how she was raised because she goes to her mom. And I think it's fair to
Oh,
say that
yeah.
Natalie was experiencing postpartum depression, baby blues, all the things. And goes to her mom and she's like, hey, I don't feel right. I think my husband is lazy. I'm not connecting with this baby that I just birthed. And her mom says, go for a jog.
And it's like, did you ever hear of hemorrhaging, mother? I don't think we should be doing that.
Yeah. And the medical professional says no. And there she goes, rips her stitches all over the parking lot.
Ah, she done ripped her stitches.
Like that was, I think, the really first glimpse that I got where I was like, Natalie may end up being a product of her environment. Because if that's your mother's first reaction when you express those feelings to her and then you actually go do it too,
I
we might
see.
have to look at our parental guidance.
I see completely. Also, her mom basically lied to her entire life. Well, I don't want to say lied, but her mom
Yes.
basically about her dad being dead when he's not really. So it seems like
I
there's a
can
lot of things that were not addressed or talked about that could have been addressed and talked about. And, if there was a little bit of honesty and a little bit of, you know, feelings talked about, maybe Natalie would have only been like half evil instead of full evil.
Yeah, and also I think that altered like how her identity was, and as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, because it almost seems like Natalie like looked up to her mom for being a single parent. And Natalie talks about how when she was a kid she just would tell people that her dad had died because it was easier than lying, or all those things. And I almost wonder like how Natalie could have turned out differently if she had had that truth at first, because her mom had like beat it into her, how the traditional wife and mother and woman looks like. And then it turns out she was kind of nothing like that herself.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many layers to this book where
Yeah.
you're like, oh, maybe this was the whole point. Oh, wait, maybe that was the point. Maybe there's like 800 points to this book.
Yes.
I So talking about Caleb, I okay. I think Caleb was a lazy bum, and I think Caleb was a man child. Okay. I I think because probably because of also his upbringing, and he never had responsibilities, he never was held accountable, blah blah blah. But I feel as I was reading this book, I felt like, and I'm not justifying Caleb because I don't think he's a great person, but I do feel like that everybody was like hardcore, like attacking Caleb, especially like whenever Natalie was like, I think this was the main part. Whenever she was like, "You want to be a kindergarten teacher?" Like in her mind, she was like, "He wants to be a kindergarten teacher. This is disgusting." Blah 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 blah.
Right.
And I'm like, the poor man just wants to be a teacher. Like, there's really, it's really not bad. Like that's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I and which is partially why him and Shannon worked out, I guess. Well, not worked out, but got to doing what they were doing, is because somebody was actually like listening to him for the first time in his life. And
Yeah,
it's so because of that, he associated that with real true love. So even though I do agree, I think Caleb was lazy. I think also Caleb was just like a low key, just a product of his environment. I still feel bad for him. I mean,
I do feel bad for him. That's kind of what I was getting at. I do feel bad for him, even though he wasn't like great, but he also really wasn't like that bad,
yeah,
especially if we put him on a scale against Natalie.
yeah.
Like, there's really no comparison there.
Okay, so I've been dying to. Excuse me.
Bless you.
I've been dying. I'll edit. I'll
I've
edit
been
that
just
part out.
generally dying.
I've been dying to bring this up to you since I've read it. Um, so Shannon, negative. Natalie and Caleb naturally had Clementine the old fashioned way. And Natalie
Oh,
is supposed to continue to produce heirs per her father in law's wishes. And Caleb was uninterested, I guess. And Natalie goes to the kitchen, gets a bowl, and tells Caleb to do what he has to do. And then she ends up pregnant. And I have been
with a
just like,
turkey baster.
with a turkey baster, I have been thinking about that non-stop, because I feel like that was such a insane scene to write in, not only as the author, but like in their whole life story. Like, that's great. It just blew my mind.
That's disgusting. And um, I only because of how she is and how that whole situation went about. Blech. Anywho, I what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh, I thought it was very interesting how she thought that Caleb was like uninterested in her, blah blah blah,
Yes.
or whatever she thought. And then in the very end, she's like, "You never wanted to do this, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Well, maybe if you weren't such a cold beep, then maybe I would have wanted to," you know. And I was like, "Oh, Caleb speaks up now. I see."
Or when she's talking to Shannon and says, "Why would you want to have an affair with somebody who can't even get fully erect?" And Shannon goes,
Oh,
What?
honey.
What are you talking about? It was, oh my gosh, like the fact that Natalie lost it and like wrung her hands around her neck, like really, I mean, I get it. That was a crazy, crazy
He said,
comment.
Logan said, I mean, I did the same.
I mean, I feel like that would have sent me if I was having all of these things going on, and the mistress tells me that I would have lost it just like she did.
But you see, I don't think, okay, hear me out. I, because she didn't really love Caleb and she didn't really care about him that much, I don't know if like I would have lost it if I was Natalie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just, I guess she cares so much about her image though. And it was probably a pride thing more than anything. But
Well,
I don't know. She's,
speaking of, I think that a lot of how she reacted relates to how she felt about Shannon. So let's talk about Shannon. I don't know if it was jealousy, like she was jealous of how free Shannon was, and how like I don't know what it was, or I don't know,
are you
like
talking about,
every day.
is this the lady that she went to college? This is the lady that she went to college with, right? That ended up like graduating and making it into the corporate world. Is that who you're talking about?
No, that's what's her name, Rena.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Okay, you are talking about Shannon. Okay, sorry. I got confused here.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about because she used to say, "I need to fire her. I need to fire her. I need to fire her," and
Oh,
like I don't want to say fall in love, but like is going through a natural home birth and can only stomach Shannon. Like, I just couldn't really understand their relationship dynamic. Like, do you hate her or do you not?
I know. I think that Shannon was like the only real human in her world, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if real is the right word, but the only person that was like authentically themselves. And I think that Natalie like loved her for it, but also hated her for it and was jealous that maybe that she couldn't be that way as well herself.
yeah,
Like her, like jealous that she couldn't be herself. Um, so I don't know. I think that it's almost like she wanted to be close to Natalie in hopes that I mean, close to Shannon in hopes that because she wanted to like live vicariously through her in a way. I don't know. I don't know.
What did you think about the like big reveal behind? Okay, we're actually in the present day and not in the 1800s.
I loved that. And I loved that we had an explanation because I feel like a lot of times you read a book and it's like you don't really get a full explanation or like the explanation doesn't make sense. And I feel like this time everything checked out. Claire, not Claire, that's not right. Uh Natalie was just losing her marbles. And I thought that it was so, so good how she revealed it with literally Clementine, but like 10, 15 years older coming back. However, it did completely break my heart whenever. Like it broke my heart when she took the kids, but like also it didn't because it's like what's best for the kids. But it was really a sad situation in general. What did you think about the big reveal? Did you like the twist? Did you anticipate that coming? I wanted to know if like that was on your radar.
I mean, obviously, it makes the most realistic sense that it would just be normal. Like, it's not, she didn't time travel. And
Yeah.
that explains, like, why she wasn't pregnant and why she refers to him as old Caleb. It's because he's legitimately 15 years older. Um, but I just didn't expect it to happen that way because the kids really threw me off. Like, the Mary and Maeve and the littlest boys, like I kept getting so confused trying to like lay the puzzle pieces out in my own mind. And I guess I'm still kind of confused. Like I wish we had almost gotten a little bit more perspective out of their planning period, because like we see Caleb starts building an outhouse, like all of these things. So I guess like a part of my brain wants the answers like, okay, so did you just give the kids to your mom, or Did you give them a, like, did you say, hey, I'm not going to see you for the rest of your life? Or did you say it's temporary? How did you unrenovate the house that you put a freaking $1 million+ into to make it be like this version of the house? Like, I have so many like logistical questions that it's almost like I can't get through it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think, and you might be able to answer this as a mental health professional, um, but for me, the most confusing part to me was how did she genuinely not realize that 15 years had gone by and they did all this work, like you said, to the house? Like, I'm sure she was there when they were doing all this work, but then all of a sudden you don't know where you are and you just wake up and you're like, where the heck am I? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I,
But I
I guess
mean, I guess
like,
that's possible.
like I don't know if there's any other explanation, but like actually losing it, or whatever
That's true.
the medication was that Mary kept giving her.
Oh,
Because Caleb had mentioned to Clementine, like, sometimes we have to give her meds.
oh
But
yeah.
didn't really say what it was, and if they had been giving it to her long enough, it could like cause memory loss and whatnot. Because we, at
That's
the
a
end of
good
the day, we
point.
don't know what that medication was.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. What did you think about in the very end, whenever we got to read the excerpt from Clementine's book? What did you think about that?
I thought that was Mary's book,
Oh,
wasn't it?
yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, 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 you're completely right.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't hear that wrong.
You didn't, do you mean your book didn't have a final chapter? No,
You must have gotten the special edition.
no, you're completely right. Not Clementine,
Um,
Mary.
I thought it was sweet, and honestly, I didn't really expect it coming from Mary,
Me neither.
because I feel like we see Mary like absolutely hate her mother.
Yeah.
Um, and so I really didn't expect it from Mary, but um, I mean, I thought it was nice, and I'm sure like I just almost wish that, again, I wish we could have gotten more of like Natalie's view of reading this, because I wonder if Natalie would have lost it, or if she just would have been like if her inner monologue would have been like, that bitch. Like, I just, I wish I knew what Natalie was thinking during that moment too.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I thought the same thing after I closed the book. I was like, okay, now a response, a rebuttal, Natalie,
Right,
please.
yeah. And also, like, I'm hopeful that if Natalie is in jail or prison, that Caleb is too, but also Caleb's dad was like the freaking president. So maybe he
That was
wasn't
wild.
also in prison. I don't know.
I think that, oh, sorry, I'm yawning again. Oh, yeah, I didn't actually see that turn coming I don't know if turn is the right word for that, but I didn't see that aspect coming where Natalie's father-in-law was essentially in line to be the next president of the United States of America. I was like, oh, so we're a politician. You know what I mean? I didn't expect him to be so rising in the ranks.
And I also, along that line, like, I still find it insane that Natalie is a influencer, a social media influencer, gets caught almost choking out her producer or whatever. And the biggest solution is this. Like, this is the best thing that you could come up with.
Yeah, and let's talk about the social media thing real quick.
Yeah.
That like oh, sorry, this is like the fourth time now. I keep yawning. That's like what that was so gross to me, seeing how she was like making her children miserable, forgetting to feed them dinner. They were up way past their bedtime just because she was trying to get like a take right for a video that she was going to post on her social media. Like that made my heart hurt so much. You know what I mean? And it just like reminded me of how much Natalie really only cared about Natalie and her children were just like background characters in her life, and that was just really, really sad.
And those moments, it's a lot. It's really easy to forget like how Natalie was brought up when you see how she's treating her own kids and almost like throwing them away. And even with Caleb, like she is very selfish, and you just kind of got to ask yourself, like, what was her end goal?
Who the heck knows?
I don't know.
Maybe enough fame and notoriety so she'd be able to like stomach herself. But I don't even know if she needed to stomach herself because she probably thought she was all that in a bag of chips.
Yeah, I don't even know if she hated herself necessarily. Like,
I don't think she did. I think she hated her situation, but I don't think she hated herself.
and I also, going back to like the I can't believe this was a solution, you would rather stay married to Caleb and revert back hundreds of years
There were so many other options.
than get a divorce, like than do any, like I just, it's just crazy to me still that this was her solution. Like we see her and Caleb's like, I don't know what to do. What are we going to do? And she's like, I got this.
And why
And
doesn't Caleb leave her? You know what I mean? Like, he
yeah.
could have left too. That's just wild.
And then we see them at the end. At the end, she says, I think I hate you. And he says, I think I hate you too. And then they walk up the driveway holding hands. It's like they almost can't bring themselves to like sever that connection.
Right. Or like maybe when they finally voice their hatred, then it's like, well, at least we're on the same page. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're
We're on
they're
the same page for once.
like the enemy of my enemy is my friend,
Yeah.
but they're each other's enemies. So
They're
essentially they
actually,
have a common enemy.
yeah.
Who the heck knows?
I don't know. The like I could go on and on about like different theories and ideas and opinions and things like, and just to turn it all back around, I think that's why this has to be a 5-star read for me. Like it's just insane how this author came up with this.
I do agree. Did you have any other points, any other reference notes that you wanted to talk about? Any other
I was actually,
page numbers?
well, I think my last page number, let me just double check. Let me flip to the page real quick.
Yes.
Um
Hey, what edition do you have? What do you have the one? What's your book look like?
mine's the book of the month one.
Oh, the one that's like the whole thing is like wavy and it has like the house in the background.
Yeah, like it's like a distortion.
Have you seen the one where like half of it is just the bottom of her face and then the top half of the book is like a cow or something?
Yeah, I kind of like that one better.
Me too. That one's really pretty.
I don't know why, but I said I wanted to talk about page 310, and I'm reading it over.
What's happening in it? I don't have my book right here. I could grab it, but I don't have it
Okay,
right here next to me.
so in 310, Caleb is confessing his love to Shannon. He's doing his own little monologue. I'm gonna start a new life. She really challenges me. Um, I don't know. I don't know why I wanted to bring this up.
I wonder. I think we kind of talked about how like how he just wanted somebody that like listened to him and he mistook that for love. We kind of talked about that a little bit. Maybe that was like a little bit of what you wanted to say.
Maybe I don't. Maybe we'll just have to hope it comes.
Or maybe I'm just putting words in your mouth.
What did you think about like the quote unquote new kids? The I can't remember their names. But how Caleb would like let them in on the secret when they turned
Oh,
their
13 or
age.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm
something like
talking about?
that.
Like he would actually go show them like, hey, our food comes from Whole Foods, and your estranged
From
brother is actually who gets
e-
it for
exactly, and the neighbor who you're in love with is actually your brother.
him. Yeah.
Oh, but he didn't wait. But he didn't tell the girls the secret because Mary
Mm-mm.
would have known. I just realized that he only told the boys.
Right.
That's
Well, and he
weird.
technically only told the first boy because we didn't really get to see the second boy come of age for that confession.
Right. That's like really weird that he didn't tell Mary. You know what I mean?
I
Because
think
she's the
it's
oldest.
I think it's crazy that they would think it's okay to tell them at all. But I guess like they can't expect the kids to like birth and die on this farm
That's true.
with
So I guess
same delusion. So like I guess that was his way of saying like
giving them a chance afterwards, maybe.
maybe, but I mean, what did he just like not care about Mary or the girls? Like they were gonna live and die on this farm.
Yeah, that's a good point and a weird point. I didn't think about that. I didn't even realize that he didn't tell the girls. That's
I'm
weird.
telling you, this is why it is a 5-star read to me. Like we could keep talking about it forever and still come up with new points.
There is a lot, and I did enjoy that about I felt like there was like I said, I feel like there was so many layers. This book was like an ogre, and ogres are like onions. Onions have layers.
So
That's
did you
from
mean to
Shrek.
say onion or did you mean to say ogre?
Both. Because in Shrek, he said that ogres are like onions and onions have layers.
Oh, okay.
Seems like you should watch Shrek again.
Yeah, I didn't know that you knew ball like that, Hannah.
I yeah. Whatever that means, you cool
Yeah,
kid.
I was gonna say Hannah has no idea what I'm talking about.
Sometimes when Logan says something that's like a common phrase that the cool kids say, I'm just like, I can sometimes use context clues, and then sometimes I'm like, what do you mean that this is gas? Is that good or bad?
Oh my gosh, when I visited Hannah and her husband, that was like the number one thing that her husband loved that my husband said was when things are gas, and Josh thought that was so funny.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes I feel like I could listen to you and Devin talk, and it's like a foreign language. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm like, I don't, uh, what is that?
So what you're saying is like you and Josh are kind of like the 1800s, Natalie and Caleb, and Devin and I.
Exactly. Exactly. And y'all are like the influencer people.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. That's basically it. I'm just sitting out here with old Caleb.
yeah. Speaking of, what did you think about Caleb and his like conspiracy theories, research, whatever you want?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Poor Caleb just wanted a community, okay?
He
Um
did.
he just wanted a community. I can't remember now. I know that he was on like these forums, okay? But I can't remember now the topic of these forums and what they talked about. I remember that one guy, the famous guy, was one of the people, and then oof, I got chill. And then he talked about Natalie on his like TV talk show or whatever, and that's
Yes.
kind of like what blew Natalie's page up.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the topic of their stuff.
I don't know. He was always like, which is kind of why I said like it's a little bit politically charged of a book, but
Oh yeah, because
um
the families. I think it's supposed to be like our equivalent of like like super far right
yeah.
wing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think like some of his things were like rats are killing people or spreading things in New York and um teachers are like pushing something onto our children like just some really odd and out there kind of thoughts and it's like, well, Caleb, do you actually think that or
And honestly, and honestly, it's probably not far off from like what some people believe. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
probably not, which is great on the author. Like she did a fantastic job at like capturing this community.
Without like coming out and blatantly saying it.
Yeah, right. Like here's this group of people that actually think this.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know. All in all, let me just stop talking and I think you should all just go read it. Hopefully if you're this far into it, you have read it. But
I
God,
was gonna say, if you've made it this far,
if you've
you
made it this far and I didn't convince you to go read it, then I'm never gonna record a podcast episode again.
don't say that. that I would cry.
I mean, seriously, like coming from the girl that thought this sounded like the worst book ever. And do you hear how like fired up this book got me? Like, I love this book.
And you know what's funny is I kind of said this in the beginning. We were kind of opposite because the premise sounded incredible to me. And then I was kind of like, okay, like it was a pretty good book, you know? And then for you,
Yeah.
you were like, this sucks. But then you read it and you were like, 5 stars.
Yeah. I don't know. It just was, I don't know how to explain it.
You've got that 5-star feeling, 5-star feeling.
I have our books, like the books that we've read for the podcast so far, on their own shelf, and I have them arranged from like most to least favorite, and I
Oh, that's cute.
immediately put this one at number 2.
That's really a cute thingy. What was the first one? Project Hail Mary?
Okay, again, Project Hail Mary doesn't count because Project Hail Mary is in a different spot on the shelf because it has
Yes.
the popcorn bucket.
If you've listened to our last episode, you know good and well that Logan's Project Hail Mary is not on the same shelf.
It is not, and you can't see it where I sit, so it's
What
not
is
on
your
the.
number one?
What do you think it is?
Oh, wait. Well, no. It wouldn't have been. Well, do you count Darling Venom?
No, so that one's on like a normal shelf. So technically,
Okay,
I guess
okay. I figured.
neither.
No. That's okay. I figured. Broken Country? No. Did you get that on 4 stars or 5? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I think it's one of the two. Broken Country is my top 3.
Shoot, I'm gonna like have to go back now. Hold on, don't tell me. Don't tell me, girl. Let me go back. Okay, so you said this one's number 2?
Yeah.
Okay, I know it wasn't just Friends. Project Hail Mary's different. Definitely not most eligible. Psh, that one sucked. Um, let's see. Not. Oh, wait. Alchemy.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
I think that one of my favorites. I think my top 2 would be. I think my number 1 would honestly be The Compound still, which was our very first episode. That one. I loved that book.
I
I
like
think my
that
number
book.
2 I think my number 2 would be Broken Country.
What would be your number 3, Hannah? I gave you my top 3.
Okay, let me see. Let me do a little thinky. Do. Now I have to go back.
You
It
didn't
might.
verbalize With a Vengeance or Pretty Girls.
Well, we know With a Vengeance was mid. I don't know what my number 3 would be. Maybe it would be. Oh, 1 second. Okay, sorry, Joshua opened the sliding glass door, so I had to be quiet for a second. Okay, it would either be Alchemized. No. I did like Alchemized. Maybe Pretty Girls, or yeah, maybe Pretty Girls would be next. Actually, I did like Pretty Girls a lot.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know, Fiffle. I have to think about it.
So actually, Hannah,
Yes.
I believe that we have also gone ahead and picked our July book, have we not?
We sure have. I'll go ahead and announce that.
Yeah.
Since 2026 is apparently the year of sci-fi, I'm claiming it, okay? Um even though this episode's going to come out in July, this is technically our June book, Yesteryear, okay? So our July book is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. I don't know how to say that last name, but there you go. Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's super popular right now. I honestly don't even know how to give a synopsis because I don't know much about it. I think it has something to do with like a game that's televised and you're like underground and it's like you could die. I don't exactly know.
There's a cat somewhere.
Princess Donut, I think.
Actually?
I think her name is Princess Donut. Okay, don't quote us on this. We have not read the book yet.
Yes.
But that's
And
what we're
we
going to be
don't
talking
want to
about.
know anything. Like, we both know only what she just said. Like, we don't want to know anymore. We're going to go into it as blindly as possible. And Hannah said year of sci-fi. I was thinking, like, year of getting out of our comfort zone because I feel like this is probably out of both of our comfort zones.
Yes, 100%. I
So yeah,
did not, and I did not intend on reading this book until Logan picked it for July, and I was like, well, I have to. Um, but yeah, when we picked this book, I got to thinking about all the sci-fi books that like didn't necessarily come out this year, but I feel like everybody's talking about sci-fi this year, whether it's Project Hail Mary, the Dungeon Crawler Carl series.
yeah,
I feel like everybody's talking about Red Rising all over again,
true.
blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a sci-fi girly, but I'll give this a go.
We're gonna find out.
We gonna find out. And yeah, I don't know. Is this sci-fi? Is this even considered sci-fi? I might have been saying this, and it might not even be sci-fi.
I think it's sci-fi fantasy.
Is Dungeon Crawler Carl sci-fi? I'm googling it. Yes, it's classified as a mix of science fiction and science fantasy. Wow, Logan, it's like you read.
It's like I know what I'm talking about.
It's like you know. Oh, but apparently
Well,
there's like a lot of people talking about if it should be considered sci-fi or not. Oh, it's absolutely science fiction with the aliens. Oh, there's aliens. Okay, I'm not reading anymore.
stop it, Hannah.
Stop. Sorry, no mas. No mas.
So yes, dungeon crawler Carl is also on Kindle Unlimited. Oh my God, words are so hard. It is also on Kindle Unlimited. So if you're a Kindle Unlimited fan, go check it out on there and read it in time for the last week of July when we talk about it.
Yes. Oh, is that when we're gonna do it? The last week of July? Okay, I won't start it yet.
I don't know.
But that's a good we can plan it. We can tentatively plan it for that. Um, so yeah, I won't pick it up
Tentatively.
yet. Tentatively. Before we go, do you have any 4th of July plans?
Memphis has a large park. If you know anything about Memphis, which I highly doubt a lot of you do, but if you do, there's the Mississippi River, and Tom Lee Park is like sitting right beside it. And last year we went to their free 4th of July show, and it was actually really, really good. They shut the whole road down, have food trucks and all sorts of stuff, little booths for you to buy stuff at, and it was just a lot of fun.
Cute.
So we're gonna do that again, and it's also cool because it's like I said, it's on the Mississippi River. So Tom Lee has a fireworks show that we get to watch, but we also kind of get to like watch all the fireworks that are across the bridge in Arkansas, and we're at a good vantage point where we can see them like kind of all over the city. So it's really fun.
That's really cute. I like that. Some pictures of the market stuff. I like vendor fairs.
Are you in the
Um,
doing anything?
yes, so Friday night, I think we're gonna go to like there's like a fair going on, kind of similar to what you're talking about, but I think there's like vendors and stuff. I'm not sure. But it's a fair. They've been doing it for like a million years. I'm not kidding. It's been going on for like 100 years. But I think we're gonna do that Friday night. Saturday night, we're gonna go to my in-laws' house for a party. And then Sunday, we're gonna go to another family member's house for a party. So we have a busy, busy weekend, but it'll be really fun. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. I also
So
have to Friday off, so I'm just super grateful for a 3-day week.
nice. Happy birthday, America.
250.
To Fitty. Happy birthday, United States of America.
Um, is there any last comments, questions, concerns that you want to say about yesteryear?
Not about yesteryear, but I just thought of a funny story.
Okay.
Speaking of happy birthday. Speaking of happy birthday USA. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, I studied in Spain for my last semester of college. Um and it was like kind of ish during COVID, but a little bit after. But there was still like mask mandates in Europe and stuff. So it was still like America was kind of like not hardcore in COVID, but like Europe still kind of was. Anywho, because of COVID, we couldn't stay with host families, so we had to stay in a dorm, like a big dorm building, with like all of us Americans, and then the rest of the students were from Spain. So they're Spaniards. And so we, on Halloween, actually, some of the Spaniards, I guess, wanted to dress up as Americans for Halloween. And they went to like one of our, like what they knocked. So some of the Spaniards went and knocked on some of the Americans' dorm room. And they were like, hey, do y'all have like some American flags that we can borrow? And they were like, um, we don't just like carry American flags with us wherever we go. And they were like, oh, don't like Americans love America? And we were like, yes, but we don't just like have our American flag handy dandy. And I just think that is so funny. And I think about that frequently.
That is funny. Also, a little plug in. Project Hail Mary comes out. By the time this episode is posted, Project Hail Mary is on Amazon Prime. So if you haven't watched it yet, please go watch it.
Go watch it, Foofuls. Okay, I'm tired and I'm gonna go inside because I'm actually sitting outside and we had a bear the other night, so I'm kind of getting scared that a bear's gonna come because it's really dark out here now.
Oh, if you're still listening, please comment down below if you felt the same way about Yesteryear. And let us know if you relate to any of our thoughts.
Or if you don't relate, tell us if you don't relate.
Yeah, tell us down below if you hate us.
Tell us down below if you hate our guts. Okay.
Okay. Love you, Hannah.
I love you. I'll talk to you later.